Hello everyone, I'm coldire 101 and welcome to the second weekly video. Okay guys, so in the first sort of week of real uploading whilst recording, so the first real sort of week of YouTube work in a way. Obviously I only do YouTube sort of part-time. I have a part-time job as well, but went really well. I feel like there were some up points and some down points, some significant up points and significant down points. So a bit of a mixed bag really. On the plus side, we got to 10 subscribers. Really happy about that. There is a 10 subscriber special on the way. I know that might not seem like a big milestone, but for me it is. It's the first milestone. You know, after the first subscriber, when you get to the 10th subscriber, that's another milestone. You know, and it only goes up from there. 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100k, a million subscribers. These are really big milestones, and all of them should be celebrated in the same way. So there will be a 10 subscriber special coming out very soon. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm still putting together some stuff. So I have a newfound respect for people who upload more than one video a day. It is stressful. Like it is stressful. Thinking about in your day, like, have I got enough hours to get this done? I need to do this recording. I need to compress this video. I managed to put together a little bit of an automated process, which I might talk about a bit later on in another video, which really helped me out. I feel like without that, I wouldn't have got to where I got to, which is really awesome. And I'm so happy that that it all worked out, that I got all the episodes uploaded, maybe not published on the right day, but that's okay. I feel like they're all out there now, and we got to 10 subscribers, which is just fantastic. So guys, moving from the good news into the bad news section. So the bad news section starts out with the fact that I had a pretty, like, some parts of the week were really tough. Got into arguments with family members. Overall time stressfulness. It is very stressful to make a schedule for yourself that is that tight on time. It wasn't until later on in the week that I finally found and sorted out handbrake automation for compression, which really helped. Without that, I would not have got through this week. It was just so stressful because after having to compress each video and having to take the time out of your day to get that done, usually it takes sort of on average about twice as long as the video to compress the video down to a smaller size ready for being uploaded. It was really stressful. That was really stressful. But the biggest shock of the week came in when my Xbox, even when not connected to the internet, told me that I had to be connected to the internet to play Astroneer. So I was like, hold on, what's this? Why do I need to be connected to the internet to change Astroneer? What I realized was that the build that I was playing on, because obviously it's an early access game, the build was untenable, and that's what it was trying to tell me, that it couldn't play on. I shouldn't be playing on that build anymore because that build was unsupported, and that I needed to update the Xbox. So I got an update for the Xbox, which took ages, which was even more stressful because then you can't record when your Xbox is updating, like, at all. So there's no background updating for your Xbox. It just says I'm updating, and that's it. You get an update. You get a live tracker of how the update's going, and that's really useless when you're trying to get like 5 or 6 videos recorded because you're behind, because the previous day there was a real life problem that stopped you from recording, and now there's another one. So it's these types of stresses which were prominent. But the real big thing was that after the Xbox updated, it told me it needed to update Astroneer. I was fine with that. I was prepared for that. So I let that go through, and my God, they ruined the game. So Astroneer was a game that was very close to my heart, and I feel like middle management for that game, for the company behind Astroneer, have just stepped in and just said, no, we're not letting you put we're not going to let you put in new content, just stretch out the old content. So all the toys that we had to play with at the start of the game, they've taken away. And they've said, no, you need to research to get those blueprints. But those some of those items that we now have to research are integral to the gameplay. So, for example, like a solar panel that's powerful enough to power your base, you know, that's powerful enough to charge up everything, the industrial sized solar panel that you need to power your base. Now you have to do research to get that, and the research that you do is completely random. So you might, for that stage one, that first thing you need, that power to your base, you might have to do all the research in the game to get to that point. Part of the fun of Astroneer was the progression as it sort of slowly rose up to the height of technology. That was the point. You researched, sure, and you got new technology, sure, but it had a sort of gradual rise. And ironically, hilariously, they talk about this as the research curve update. Not really, more like the up and down trough research update, because now you have to be extremely lucky to get the items you really, really need early on. Otherwise, the game is awful, absolutely awful, because then you're struggling with tiny resources. I mean, you get the vehicle bay, fine, and you get the rover on there, fine, but there's nothing else. There's nothing else. You've still got to get the truck if you want to go and move significant amount of materials around and gather materials quickly. You're still going to need that. Oh, and remember the biogenerator that's the most useful item in the game? Not anymore. Not anymore. I've gone through the research notes and I can't find it. It's like, I'm not even sure it's even still in the game. The most important part of the game, the creating power out of organic. And if that's actually true, then what on earth are you supposed to do with organic? There's nothing for you there. So that idea really, really rubs me the wrong way. Like, this is a massive backstep, okay? And I feel like whenever an RNG element is introduced to a game, it is only there to try and stretch out the game. It is never there for the sake of gameplay. It is never there to add more to the game. Like, that is not a thing. Like, it is not there for that, like, at all. That is not what it was there for. And it really, like, upsets me and angers me to see this happening in a game that I'm still a bit snivelly, that I'm just such a big fan of. To see that happen is just the worst, like the absolute worst. So moving forward, Astroneer will not be on the channel. Part of the fun of putting Astroneer on the channel was because I could plan it out. I could plan it out, and I think you could get that game done in 2 hours of solid work. 2 hours of solid work would get that game done, and now I feel like they've ruined that good fun, that short game. You know, they've tried to stretch out into this long RNG type game. They've added more research in there, and you're guaranteed to get the research you want. But I did a play test just to see what it was new like. Oh, I had to delete the save, by the way, because the new world gen means that I have to delete the old saves that I've got, because those old saves just can't work anymore. They can't work. You're not going to get the resources that you need from a world which doesn't generate those resources anymore. That's it. And you need to have those new mechanics to be able to play the game in the new way. So that was awful. That was really, really awful, and it ruined my experience, because I was in the middle of recording the second episode and it just ruined it. But anyway, the long and the short of it is Astroneer will no longer be on the channel, and until it gets to a more tenable position, it won't be on the channel. So that first episode, that wonderful enjoyment, that simple joy, and knowing that, yeah, okay, there was going to be a bit of a research bottleneck, and now that bottleneck could be huge. Could be huge. I got the last blueprint in my playtest of this build. I got the last blueprint. So basically, the spaceship that lets you blast off to other planets. I got that blueprint first. The bit of technology that you're building up to, you know. And then what's stopping me from going to the end of the game? I could build that. I could build that out of the 4 copper that I need. Then I go out and get some compound, go put that on top, blast off to another planet, and then done. End game, roll credits. That's the end of the game. So you can either go straight to the end of the game, or you could do all the research, and believe me, it is a grind to get all the different research pieces together. to get all those research pieces together with the hope of eventually getting that stage 1 item, like the solar panel. I play tested the build for 4 hours. 4 hours I play tested the new build to see whether or not I could get to grips with it. In those 4 hours, I did not get the solar panel. I didn't get the solar panel. Probably the first thing I build on the printer, and it's not there. So I know there's revert's going to happen. I know that they're going to try and change the game to try and make it better. I know they're going to do it. I know they're going to do it. And the idea that they might not, fills me with dread. So it's not going to be on there. But moving to a more sort of happy place where games development isn't what it is. Astroneer Classics. Okay, so moving away from Astroneer, we now have Xbox 360 Classics. So what are classics? Classics are games which get to godhood amongst gamers, and this is one of them. Okay, and this game is what's going to be replacing Astroneer for the side series. It is a fantastic, wonderful open world style experience. Really, really great fun. I love this game to pieces, and it's going to take Astroneer's spot. Look forward to checking it out. I really look forward to it. I'm going to go and record it in a minute, so I'm really looking forward to it. So, and then for the future of the channel, we need to talk about what's going to be happening after Fallout and after we finish Barbarian. Now, I mentioned that Diablo 3 was going to be a cornerstone for my channel, and it is. Okay, it is the cornerstone. The beating heart of my channel is going to be Diablo 3. So, because of that, because that's the beating heart of my channel, because Diablo 3 is what I love to play, and I will play that until the day I die. Diablo 3 will stay. Okay, once Barbarian's finished, we will move on to the next. We'll move on to the next character. Okay, but the end game content is going to be shaken up a little bit once Barbarian finishes. It will no longer just be a witch doctor. So, in every episode of Endgame, Diablo 3 Endgame, we will go to all the characters that are available, and all of them will try and do a greater rift. Because that's what I want, and that's the highest level that I can try and get to. So they will all do either a rift or a greater rift, and probably just do one of each. So each character will do a rift and then a greater rift. So off camera, I'll do bounties because you guys don't want to see that. That's not really very important. I won't do any rolling or any important stuff on that. So I'll just go get those bounties done so that I can go rifting, and then when I go rifting, that's when you guys are going to get involved, and I'm going to record an episode. So inside of the episode, you will get the Witch Doctor doing a rift and then a greater rift, and then you'll get the Barbarian doing a rift and then a greater rift. And when we bring in the next character as well, and when that character gets their campaign and level 70 finished, then we will move forward. So that's how Endgame is going to be working out. So after Fallout 4, when Fallout 4 finishes, when the campaign finishes, then Empire is going to be drawn to a close at about the same time. At about the same time, guys. There are lots of episodes of Empire, and I foresee there being quite a few of them. I'm going to try and make sure that it doesn't go too mad with it. There's a lot to do. I've still got a lot of railroad missions to do, a lot of Minuteman missions to do for that. There's going to be a whole bunch of it, which I think is really, really cool. The character's going to have a lot of main stuff to do, and then we're going to draw it. When it draws to a close, which it will, the Empire series will also draw to a close as well. So it will leave 2 slots available, one side series slot and one main series slot. And what I want to try and do is, again, do a complementary series. So with a main series, have a side series that matches up to it. So what's going to be coming after Fallout 4? Well, it's going to be Shadow of Mordor. We're approaching August, which is the release of the new Shadow of Mordor game. So I want to get the first Shadow of Mordor game done. Now, there's quite a grindy element to the way I play Shadow of Mordor. I absolutely love the game. Another open world game that's just done flawlessly, perfectly, and it's a real poke in the eye to games companies like Ubisoft, when Warner Brothers can make a better game than you with a better franchise than you. You know, usually movie franchises and stuff like that, Lord of the Rings games don't tend to be that good. Shadow of Mordor is in a class of its own. It is a fantastic game. So you guys will be seeing that. Its complementary series will match up to that. It's going to be called Target Acquired, where I'm going to go after a specific warlord, orc warlord, or sort of orc war boss and stuff like that. So in each one I'll be going out and I'll be doing that sort of grindy elements, along with going after different sort of targets as well. Because there's sort of an overarching sort of politics and hierarchy for the orcs, there's a lot of grinding you have to do. So main missions will be done in the main series, but all the grinding elements will be done in this side series, which is really, really good. And I will try and include just as much of that as I can. Obviously, there will be some grinding off screen. I do want to get some great runes and stuff like that. And the hope is that I can finish Shadow of Mordor before the new one comes out, and then the new one will be included on the channel as well. So you get a main series, Shadow of Mordor, and a side series, Target Acquired. Yeah, and I think that's going to work out. So that's pretty much everything. We've covered Astroneer's exit from the channel. We've covered its replacement. There's going to be more Xbox Classics filling in. There's a lot of Xbox Classics which I feel don't get enough playtime even now. So I would love to bring some of them in for you guys to check out, because they are great. They are really, really good. So I hope that I can bring those out for you guys. All right. We've covered Endgame and where Endgame's going to be going and what's going to happen when Barbarian finishes as well. When Barbarian finishes, we'll be moving on to a new character, and I don't know, guys. It may be time. It's going to be, I believe it's going to be a ranged character. So the only ranged characters that are left are the Demon Hunter and the Wizard, and I'm not good with either of those, so it's going to be a real challenge. Like that's going to be a real challenge for me. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this vlog. I have rambled on a bit, but we've covered absolutely everything. 10 subs, we've covered Astroneer, we've covered Astroneer's replacement, we've covered what's going to happen after Fallout finishes, what's going to happen after Diablo finishes, and we've also covered what's going to happen with the end game for Diablo 3 as well. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Do stay tuned for that 10 subscriber special, which is on the way, and I'll see you in the next one.